Hello everyone, Margaret Bailey here with another episode of my vlog. I do feel a bit better today. I don't think I have the flu. I think I may have just been dehydrated yesterday, but my husband definitely does have a cold, so I'll probably get it one way or another. But today I'm going to be talking about my anxiety and agoraphobia and depression and how I think it all started. It took me a while to get around to making this video because I really didn't know how to explain it all, especially explain it all in one video, because it, usually takes me a while to explain because I'm talking about different time periods in my life, different things that happened and probably contributed to it. But I realized last night when I was talking to a friend that it really goes back to one time in my life and a few things that happened. First, just a little bit of backstory, that my parents split up when I was about 1 year old, and my mom went and moved in with her mom, and she brought me and my brother, my older brother, he's like 8 years older than me, to go live with her mom. And I grew up there with my mom and my brother and my grandma. And my grandma was a really big part of my life. She practically raised me because my mom has a history of mental illness also. I started realizing this as I was getting into my teen years, and I was starting to realize that my mom, wasn't just silly. She was a little loopy. Part of this is due to the fact that she abused Adderall for years. She claims she has ADHD. I don't have any right to dispute that. I'm not her, I don't know. But either way, she abused her Adderall. She would take too much, she would stay up for days, she would think she was getting things done, but she would just run around the house and just kind of do the same things over and over, and then she would crash and sleep for days. And, during those days where she was sleeping, my grandma was taking care of us kids. And, well, by the time that started happening, actually, my brother wasn't a kid anymore. He was almost an adult. I was still a kid. Anyway, when I was about 14, our house got foreclosed. The house that I grew up in, and, really the only home that I had ever known until this house that I live in now with my husband and my brother. And that's what I was telling my friend the other night, is that it's not so much that I'm afraid to leave my house or that I don't want to go out in public. I mean, I don't. That's true, but it's also just that I don't feel comfortable anywhere besides my own home, and I haven't felt at home anywhere besides here since the home that I grew up in that was taken from us. And one reason I haven't really wanted to talk about this is because I feel like my problems are somewhat insignificant. A lot of people have it worse and handle it better. But, we're all different, and we all handle things differently. Some of us are stronger than others. That's just how it is. And, I really don't feel like I'm very strong sometimes. But, another part that contributed to it was that when I was about to come out of 6th grade and go to middle school with all my friends from public school, my dad, who hadn't really been very involved in my life until then, comes out of basically nowhere and says, "Hey, you should go to Catholic school." And I was like, "No, Dad, I don't think I want to." And, he kept on it. He insisted. He said it was my choice ultimately, but I really felt pressured into it. And I went to Catholic school, and I hated it. I wasn't so much as bullied as, I was just isolated and picked on, and I had maybe like 2 friends there, but most of the people were preppy rich kids, and I was, the poor weird kid. I was kind of transitioning into like my goth emo stage at that point, And I couldn't really express myself fully because I was living with my dad. Okay, this is where the two stories are going to coincide now. My dad had basically forced me to go to Catholic school, and I went. And I was still living with my mom, but I was staying with my dad a good portion of the time. He lives with his parents, my grandparents, and they're all Catholic, and the whole family is basically all military, and I've never really felt like I fit in. Because I, haven't really ever had much of an interest in either of those things. But, I went to Catholic school to try and appease them, but it didn't really seem like enough when I was a teenager. I have a much better relationship with my dad's family now than I did when I was a teenager, but back then it was really hard. And I had moved in with my dad and his parents because my house was being foreclosed and I was afraid of being homeless. So I left my mom and my brother in that situation, and I felt really bad, I felt like a traitor, but there wasn't really much I could do. I was 15 and I couldn't get a work permit because I was in trouble for truancy at school. So I couldn't work, I couldn't help them save the house. I just, I needed a stable place to live and go to school, and I thought my dad's would be a great place to do that. But, they did have a lot of rules, I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but there was this one that I thought was a bit ridiculous. I had a curfew of 6 o'clock, and the reason being was because 6 o'clock was when everybody started drinking, and it was cocktail hour. They were all too drunk to come get me after that point. So I would get out of school at like 3 o'clock, and I had to do my homework before I did anything else. I agree with that. But sometimes it took me 2 hours, and if it took me 2 hours, I'd get done at 5. Then I only had an hour to go hang out with friends. I didn't really have any friends in school. I couldn't hang out with my friends outside of school because I didn't have enough time. So I kind of just started isolating myself. And that's really when it all started. I truly believe that. It has kind of gotten a little bit worse since that point. Some other things have happened, but I think that's a good place to stop for this video. I'm getting a little bit tired of holding my phone, and I need a drink, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut this video off, and hopefully that just tells you a little bit more about me and why I am the way I am, and maybe some people can relate. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.